Why did I look forward to the next 1,000 reps of sit-ups? Why did I look forward to doing more reps with 600 pounds in a squat? And then I realized it was because I had a goal. I had a vision. It was right in front of me. It was fantastic. I saw myself as another Reg Park, my idol, on that stage in London at the Mr. Universe contest and also winning just like him.
Yeah.
And that, seeing that very clearly in front of me and having that goal motivated me. I didn't even need discipline. When I look back and say to myself, how did I get so fanatic about bodybuilding and how did I end up training 5 hours a day? And why did I enjoy working out and torturing myself? Why did I look forward to the next 1,000 reps of sit-ups? Why did I look forward to doing more reps with 600 pounds in a squat? And then I realized it was because I had a goal. I had a vision. It was right in front of me. It was fantastic. I saw myself as another Reg Park, my idol, on that stage in London at the Mr. Universe contest and also winning just like him. And that, seeing that very clearly in front of me and having that goal motivated me. I didn't even need discipline. I tell people always, I don't have that much discipline. It's just that I had such joy chasing that. And so I couldn't wait to do another rep. I couldn't wait to do another set and to lift another weight, to get to that and to turn that vision into reality. So I wrote about that in the first chapter in the book, about how important it is that you can have the best airplane in the world, but if the pilot does not know where to go, you're going to eventually crash. You're going to run out of fuel and you crash. And this is what happens to a lot of people's life. Their life ends up crashing and they're depressed and they're down because they don't know really what they're chasing. And so this is why I'm a big believer in having a goal that you're chasing, whatever that goal may be. It doesn't matter. It's like a medical student that says, I want to become a doctor. It's much more fun for him to go to university then and to study and take chemistry lessons and math lessons and English lessons and kind of pre-med classes because he knows what he's going after. He's going to become a doctor. Maybe 14 years from now, but still he's going to become a doctor eventually. When I got into movies, I had a very clear vision to be another Clint Eastwood. Yeah, I said to myself, well, wait a minute. Charles Bronson, this is in the 70s now. Charles Bronson and Clint Eastwood made $1 million a movie. I said to myself, that sounds good. Right? I said, why shouldn't I make $1 million? So, of course, I went and I tried to convince Hollywood. I said, look, I'm a bodybuilding champion. I just did the movie Pumping Iron. I want to get into movies. And they said, you're crazy. He says, I know you want to do Hercules movies or something like that. You talked about Reg Park, Steve Reeves. Well, the 60s are over. This is the 70s. In the 70s, you're way too big, right? And they try to convince me that I'm too big, that Dustin Hoffman and Al Pacino and Woody Allen, those are the new sex symbols. So I said to myself, okay, I understand that that particular ladder is very hard to climb. So, but I saw it for me to become a leading man in movies and be a movie star. I saw it. So I created my own ladder. But because of that vision, I was able to do another thing that I talk about in the book, which is don't listen to the naysayers. How many people are saying no? You can't do this. This is impossible. No. So that's what I heard. And I said to myself, I'm not going to pay any attention to these guys. They're fucking idiots. I mean, I'm just, what does he know about my goal? I want to be a leading man. And the guy said to me, he says, yeah, but look at your accent. We barely can understand you. I said, I know. I should get my money back from my speech coach, from my accent removal coach. But He said to me, he says, this doesn't work. And so there was all the excuses. My name is too long, Schwarzenschnitzel, or whatever his name is. He said, what the hell? We're not going to go and be able to sell you. He says, forget about this course. I mean, this is the kind of stuff that I went through. But because I had a clear vision, it worked. And because I didn't listen to the naysayers, it worked. And so those are the kind of things I experienced. And this is how I climbed up to the top.
Hey, it's Jake here. Look, I just wanted to dive in very quickly to talk to you about travel counsellors. And this is particularly for people who are looking for maybe a big change in their life. So travel counsellors are travel agents, are brilliant travel agents. I've booked my family holidays with them for the last few years. And that's the reason why I wanted to partner with them, because each travel counsellor is a passionate individual who believes in doing the very best for the customer. But each travel counsellor is also a business owner. They are their own boss. They have no limit to their earning potential. They work with over 2,000 other like-minded travel counsellors across 6 different countries. But as well as having an amazing opportunity to be self-employed, they also have the backing of an incredible business. They have world-class training. They have all the technology they need to deliver for the customer. So if you're looking to take control of your destiny, if you're looking for a change in your life, then maybe you should be looking to be a travel counsellor. For more information, just check out travelcounsellors.co.uk/HPP. It might just be the most important thing you've ever done.
So how do you create the vision? How do you create the time and the space to find what your vision is? Because we should all have one, whether it is having huge ambitions like being an actor or whether it's just waking up in the morning happier. It's a vision, right?
Well, I think the most important thing is that vision is connected with passion.
Right.
So you have to find your passion. Turn off the phone, turn off the computer, the iPad, all of those things. Because too many people today, not just young people, but people in general, they are too long, too many hours on those what I call machines. I say machines because having done the Terminator movie, but they are glued to those machines. I say, screw everyone else's story. I say, you got to find your story. What is your story? That is what you have to look for. What is your story? What do you want to be known for? What impact are you going to make on yourself and on the world? And so this is what I'm talking about here in this book, is find the time. I found it because I didn't have any of those things. We didn't even have a phone at home. We didn't have a television at home. We had nothing. So I had time to think about, and I've realized that I'm really passionate about being an athlete. I was always very active. And then I realized that my talent is in weightlifting, in Olympic lifting, and then in bodybuilding and powerlifting and all those things. So I found my passion. And then because of that interest, then I saw the Hercules movies, and that really turned me on. And now I saw it in front of me. I said, that's what I want to be. So it's something that has to do directly related with passion. And then when you see that, seeing, believing, achieving, remember that. When you see that, you believe in it. So I had always that faith, 100% faith that I'm going to get there, no matter what anyone said. Of course, my parents said, you're sick in the head. What's the matter with our son? My mother thought I was gay. I mean, what the hell? She came into my bedroom and she says, why are all these naked men hanging on a wall above your bed? Look at them all, and they're oiled up. All your friends, Arnold, have girls hanging above their bed, and you have men. What is going on here? So she called the doctor, our house doctor.
No.
Yeah, because our house doctor, you know how it is in those little villages, there's no psychiatrist or anything like that, so that you call a house doctor. So she called the house doctor. He came home to our house, and he looked at the wall. And he finally told my mother, he says, no, this is quite normal. When kids get to be 14, 15 years old, they want to look at idols and they want to emulate and they want to kind of copy them and all this stuff. The testosterone is shooting in there and they want to grow and they want to get strong and they want to get tough and all that stuff. So it's quite normal, don't worry about it. And my mother finally stopped crying, because she thought I'm going totally south on this whole thing. So I mean, so I had to convince my parents My father said, what are you doing with this weightlifting? Are you crazy? This is when he said, be useful. Sei nützlich. Sei nützlich, Arnold. Geh raus. Screamed at me. He said, what he was telling me was that in order to get muscles, I should go and chop wood for the old lady next door to us that was 80 years old. He says, chop wood, and then you're helping her, and then you're useful, and then you get muscles at the same time. That's what you should do, not just thinking about yourself and looking in the mirror, looking at yourself all the time, and just, what he called Selbstverherrlichung. Like you're kind of idolizing yourself. You're looking in the mirror, you're a narcissist. So this is what I went through, just to show you. It was not that easy, the path. But they did find people, a trainer that believed in me, and mentors and coaches and stuff like that, and training partners that helped me. And that's why I'm here today, because they helped me. But my parents were not supportive at all. And people around me, there were a lot of people that were very negative about my bodybuilding career, about my going to America, and even when I ran for governor. They said, Arnold, are you nuts? Running for governor, why don't you run first for mayor? I said, because I don't want to be mayor. Why would I be running for mayor? I don't want to go into a political career. I want to go and be governor because there's a recall election. They're recalling the governor because he has done a terrible job. And I think I can do a better job. No, you have to start little. I said, little? Are you kidding me? I never do anything little. I say, I start big. I have big dreams. I say, I'm going to run this state. That I know for sure. I'm going to win. Well, the rest is history.
So how did you not get derailed by the naysayers and the doubters? Why weren't you daunted by becoming governor of California? Why weren't you full of self-doubt when you went for auditions for movies? What was different about you?
Well, it's just when you have a clear vision and a goal and you have faith in it, just imagine or just think about for a second when you have faith in a religion and you hold on to that faith. It really is tremendously helpful, especially when you're down. And when you have faith in yourself on top of all that, it is unbelievably powerful.
Yeah.
Because of course, and I talk about it in the book, this is not a rosy road. I tell you the amount of times that I fell, the amount of times that I lost weightlifting competitions, the times that I lost bodybuilding competitions, the amount of times that I had political setbacks. When I was governor and I wanted to do kind of like initiatives, I wanted to pass initiatives, oh man, all 4 of them lost. And they called me a loser. In show business, I had movies that went through the roof. And then after that, there was a movie that went right in the toilet. It was like I got belittled by the press. And the worst is when someone says that Stallone is more successful. Oh man. Hell broke loose when they say that. Because we had a tremendous amount of competition going on in the 80s, as you know. It was like, we were, like little children. We were so stupid. We were competing who is making more money at the box office. So that's understandable. We all compete about that. Who is getting better reviews? All right, understandable. But who has less body fat? Who is using bigger guns? Who is killing more people on the screen? Stupid stuff like that. That's what we were competing. And it was like, and I would call him and say, hey, did you see the machine gun I used? It only can be used off a helicopter. And I carried it with one arm and pa 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 pa. And he says, wait, when I do Rambo number 16, I'm gonna use a bigger gun. I'm gonna use something much bigger than you. And this is how it went. It's crazy, insane. And so, yeah, we had these competitions and all that stuff. So I had my down periods where I fell and movies went south, and then politics in my personal life, with my marriage and all this. But I always felt, and I talk about that, you can lose. And there's no one that doesn't lose. Even Michael Jordan will write about his 5,000 shots that he missed in basketball. And he will talk about the amount of games he missed because of him in the playoffs. And all of that stuff. And he says, because of those losses, I became the greatest basketball player. Well, this is exactly how I felt, that when you lose, and you're down on the ground. But you get up again. The loser stays down. But the winner, when he fails, he gets up again. You dust yourself off, you get up again, and you march forward, and you see a vision, and you go forward, and you go forward. So that's how I always felt. And so there were really tremendous times. I remember, and I talk about this also in the book, I just won the second Mr. Universe contest here in London in 1968. A week later, I go over to America, and they have their own Mr. Universe contest, the IFBB Mr. Universe contest, International Federation of Bodybuilding Federation. And I lose against the guy that I thought was a scrawny little kid. I said, this contest was fixed. And I cried all night because I was in a strange country and I was by myself. I missed my home. And I just now went for the first time to America and I lost. I felt like a loser. And like I said, I literally cried for hours. But the next morning, I pulled myself together and I said, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to train my ass off all year long. And I'm going to go after that guy that beat me. And I'm going to win the competition. And that's exactly what I did. Don't blame anyone else for your failures. Blame yourself. Take responsibility. It's the most important thing when you fail, that you take responsibility for the failure and you don't blame anyone else. That's the key thing, is learn from the mistakes. That is the most important thing there.
Which brings us to the third lesson in the book, which is work your ass off. You say work your ass off much better than I say work your ass off. But that's what you believe. And 2 workouts a day was one of the things that you put into your life and the way that you lived to work your ass off. So should we talk about hard work?
Yeah, well, first of all, in training, I know a lot of people are always looking for a shortcut. And they buy into all this kind of programs, 20 minutes a day this, and you eat this 3 meals a day and then you're perfect and all that stuff. There's no such thing as a shortcut. It's just that you have to work your ass off.
Hey everyone, I just want to talk to you very briefly about what I believe to be a total revolution in sleep, and it's called 8 Sleep. It's a pod cover that goes on the mattress that's currently on your bed, and it controls the temperature to suit you perfectly. And it all works from this app. Me and my wife, we like different temperatures. I actually like my side of the bed cooler. But the 8 Sleep isn't just about the temperature, it's your own personal sleep coach. So just look at the information that I wake up to. I get a sleep fitness score. I can find out more about the quality of my sleep, the kind of routine that I'm in. But it also gives me the different sleep stages as well. So I can find out how much REM sleep or deep sleep I'm getting. And then I can tailor things in my own life, like alcohol or coffee before bed or when I work out, to try and improve my sleep. And we all know that sleep is the foundation of high performance. If we can improve our sleep, we can improve so much of our life. It's time to bring tech to the bedroom by going to 8sleep.com/HPP, where you can get £200 off your pod and free shipping. That's 8sleep.com/HPP.
But in those days in bodybuilding, there was no money. So I worked on construction also, several hours every day. And I went to college several hours every day. And I was thinking about my next career as an actor, and I went to acting class several hours a week. So think about that. I really literally just slept 6 hours a day, and there were 18 hours left. And I used these 18 hours to work out, to work, to train for my acting, to do all of those things. And I worked and I worked and I worked to make money. And in 1974, I saved up enough money to buy my first apartment building. So this is important to know because I bought this apartment building for $240,000. This is back in the 70s. And then 2 years later, someone offered me $400,000, and I sold it, but I didn't take the money. I traded up to a 12-unit apartment building, from a 6-unit to 12-unit, and then to a 36-unit apartment building. And this is how I went up and up and up. That before I made really the first big movie, I was already a millionaire. You see, think about it, because I was working my ass off. I don't believe in shortcuts. I don't believe getting around all of that or finding the easy way. You got to confront things straight on, and you got to struggle through it. And I found out that the more I struggle, the stronger I get inside. Because remember that the brain, your head, is just like a muscle. The muscle grows when you give it resistance. When I put a dumbbell in my arm and I curl it up, it's the resistance that makes the bicep grow. But the same thing is also with your head. The more resistance you give it, the more you let yourself struggle, the more you go through pain and through kind of suffering sometimes. The more you endure that, the tougher you get.